If you were somehow lucky enough to survive the scalpers, the botters, the pre-orders, the long lines, and you have yourself a PlayStation 5, the question is, how do you make it faster? Now, it's definitely faster than the ones that came before it, but there are ways, there are tricks, there are secrets to make your PlayStation 5 even faster. And if you don't have one yet, well, keep the faith. And when you do finally score that coveted PS5, make sure you come back and check this video out. Welcome to Chaos Gaming, everybody. Today, we are going to go over 7 ways that you can make your PlayStation 5 even faster than it already is. You let me know in the comments which of these worked for you. Drop a like. Make sure to share the page around. The first one is easy. Check your game presets. A pretty great feature for the PlayStation 5 is it has game presets, which can save you a lot of time when you're starting up a new game and you get into the action way quicker. Go to your system settings, click on saved data, then game app settings, then game presets. From this menu, you can set things like game difficulty, performance mode, inverted controls. I play on inverted. Does anybody else play on inverted? I'm the only one in literally the entire gaming community. All those things. Then, when you go to start up the game, all your presets will automatically load into that game where applicable and save you some time in the options menu. So, say you're like me, and like I said, you play FPS games with inverted controls, or maybe you're someone who likes to play games in performance mode. If you set all this up in your game presets menu, it will all be set up when you go. The PlayStation 5 remembers, and it will automatically change those in-game settings for you when you get into each game. It's a nice time saver that you should definitely check into. It's a really cool feature that not a lot of people even know the PlayStation 5 has. Next up, make sure you're using the PS5 version. Seriously, this is a thing. A lot of games right now have a PS4 and a PS5 version, which can get very confusing when both versions are playable on your PlayStation 5. Now, the PS5 has full backwards compatibility with the PS4, meaning when a game comes out on the PS4, you can still play it on your PS5 via backwards compatibility. However, as some of you probably noticed, the PS4 version of a game will always run a little differently than the actual PS5 version, even if you're playing both games on your PlayStation 5. Now, if you want the smoothest gameplay experience possible, you need to make sure you're actually playing the PS5 version of your game when possible. Now, it's always an option to get the PS4 version and then just play it via backwards compatibility, but if you're trying to get things as fast and as smooth as possible, you're never going to beat the version of the game that was built specifically for that machine. Next up, mind the multitasking. Yes, multitasking is a great feature, and it's one that pretty much is expected from any piece of hardware today. Consoles, computers, phones. If it can't multitask, it's probably not going to make it. But you have to remember that the consoles, well, they're still just consoles, and they're not supercomputers. So yes, you can multitask a whole bunch of games and apps at once, but you need to be mindful of your performance. It can suffer if you start to let these things stack up. Plus, if you're playing a CPU-intensive game, multitasking is going to put a strain on your machine and make things feel a tad bit sluggish. Now, if you want to make sure your PlayStation 5 is running as fast and optimal as possible, make sure you quit out of games and apps that you're not using anymore. You will definitely see a difference. Another difference you can see instantly is automatic updates. Now, this isn't going to make your machine faster, but it is definitely going to save you a lot of time, and I'm sure you have busy schedules. Nobody likes sitting down to play a video game only to get slapped in the face with a long update that you now have to see completely through, especially if your internet's not that fast. Well, a good way to avoid that is to turn on automatic updates. This isn't anything new or groundbreaking, but a lot of people forget. This way, you can get those updates downloaded and installed whenever they're available, like when you're out of the house or maybe in the middle of the night when you're asleep. Then, make sure your PS5 is set to rest mode instead of powering completely off. This way, your system will still be able to download and install those updates without it having to be completely turned on. It is definitely a set it and forget it mode. Look into these two things: automatic updates and rest mode. Mix them together, and you will never, ever, ever be interrupted by an update screen on your PlayStation 5 again. Now, wired, not wireless. This is, I think it's common knowledge at this point, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you're trying to make your PlayStation 5 as fast as humanly possible, you are going to need to get an Ethernet cable and plug it in. While your Wi-Fi may be pretty great and pretty handy, it is never ever going to be as fast as just plugging your machine directly into your router and getting the internet that way. Plug your PS5 directly in with an Ethernet cable, and you're probably going to notice a difference in download speeds. You probably won't notice it much during gameplay because, I mean, well, there's only so much internet being used in a game like Warzone or Black Ops, but if you're trying to speed up downloads, the best way to do that is an Ethernet cable. It may not be as convenient as Wi-Fi, but if speed is the goal here, you need to plug it in. And I know it goes without saying, and a lot of people are going to watch this video and say, well, that's a given. That's a no-brainer, Jimmy. Yes, but a lot of people don't get that. They think Wi-Fi is equal to actual hardline. It's not. Next up, your storage. It's another sort of common knowledge thing is storage, but let's talk about it anyway. When your hard drive is getting filled up with games and apps, it's probably going to start weighing down your system, kind of, in a way. The less space you have on your hard drive, the more you're going to notice it. Now, it's not the end of the world to have a full hard drive, and the way games come out now, they're massive. It's hard not to have a full hard drive and then a full external. And obviously, the machine is still pretty fast when fully loaded, but if you start noticing things starting to lag more regularly, or maybe the home screen starts to get a little sluggish, maybe it's time to clean up your hard drive. Delete games you're not playing anymore, or get an external hard drive to move some of your files. An external has never been a better choice than in today's age with gaming. It's not. The lighter your hard drive, the faster your machine will run. Picture it like you're running a 40-yard dash, and you have nothing but yourself. Then you run a 40-yard dash with a backpack on it with 40 pounds of weights in it. That's where I'm trying to get here. And the last thing today I want to try to help you out with your PlayStation 5 to make it faster is use your phone. Let's say you hear about a game from a friend and you want to give it a shot. Or maybe you're out somewhere and you hear about a sale going on with the PlayStation Store. What do? Do you wait until you get back home to buy the game and then wait for it to download? No. The PS5 allows you to access the PlayStation Store from your phone. And if you sync it to your system, you can actually tell it to start downloading things while you're not even there. That's right, remote is there, my friend. You can be out of the house, buy a game, tell it to install on your console, and then it will be ready for you by the time you get back. Now, this is another thing that isn't going to make your system faster per se or anything like that, but it is going to save you a ton of time waiting for that game to download once you get home. Download the PlayStation app today on your phone. Make sure it is synced to your profile. Then you will be able to buy games and download them without ever being in your house or at your console. You're on the go, no problem. And there you have it, my friends. Those are 7 ways to not only make your PlayStation 5 faster, but kind of make your gaming experience, your schedule, and your life a little faster if it revolves around video games in any way. If you guys found this helpful or informative at all, do me a favor. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you follow the page with those notifications fully turned on. If you don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, I truly hope you get one really soon. I'll see you guys later.